what I would like for us to do, just indulge me a little bit. When I say KCC, you say Badgers, all right?
Yes.
KCC?
Badgers!
All right, pretty good, pretty good. So let me reframe this a little bit more. Maybe if I add a why. Why are we doing this? Why am I asking you to do this? Well, I want us collectively to show our gratitude, not only to ourselves, but to our colleagues and our leadership in this room for the many hours of work that you put in to KCC to make it what we are today. So, when I say KCC, you say Badgers. KCC, Badgers! All right, okay. We'll work on that. So, what this reminds me of is that we're here and we all know what we do. But what gives us more power, what gives us more energy, what gives us ability to serve others better is our whys. Why do we do the things that we do? And as you've heard, this week we're celebrating First Generation Week. And under the leadership of Cassandra Ramirez and the Office of Student Life, she's organized these events, and KCC is celebrating First Generation College students all week. And so indulge me in just a tiny little bit of history. So the National First Generation College Celebration Day is November 8th, which was Friday. And what that was the Higher Education Act of 1965 was signed into law by Lyndon Baines Johnson for his war on poverty. The act began steps that leveled the playing field for traditionally marginalized, underrepresented, upper-represented groups and students of disadvantaged and low-income backgrounds. And through this act, the government gave us grants, funding, also made it possible for programs like TRIO to exist nationally to serve and support people who are first generation, low income, and or experiencing disabilities. So at this time, I just want to anybody in this room, do you identify as first generation or know somebody who's first generation? Can we say, and you know somebody who's first generation? So a lot of us are impacted, right? And I also identify as a first generation low income student. I was the first person in my family to graduate from high school, much less college. And I was the first, yes. And I was also the oldest, yes. But I wasn't the last, and I wasn't the only one. But I was the first one. And to me, that's the power of being first, and the first generation, the things that we do to impact others. And so when you look around this room, you'll see many faces. And the people here, you could be first generation or not, know someone who's first generation or not. And we all have our different definitions of first and our ideas of what it means to be first. And some of our stories are humorous, some are emotional, and some are harder than others. But most importantly, they're stories of individual journeys that make us who we are today. And when I started my college journey, I attended a community college. And when I became discouraged, I had to remember my why. And I had to cling to my own inspiration. And because I had no role model for this particular path, I took inspiration from history. And so one of my biggest inspirations occurred before I was even born. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy inspired a nation to undertake an impossible mission. A mission no one believed could be true. A mission that people doubted. There was like, no way, this can't happen. But he said, we are going to do this thing. Not because it is easy, but what?
Because it is hard.
Because it is hard. And we're going to go to the moon. And although President Kennedy did not live to see it, 7 years later, Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon. And he said, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Now, you might be asking, what does this story have to do with now, here, KCC? It's been a while. And I'd say, for me, this encapsulates my whole why. This is my why. For every small step each student takes toward their academic goals, they are taking giant leaps for their families, for their communities. They are impacting generations to come. And I see your faces here, every single person in this room, that all of your small steps you take every single day, you are growing this community by giant leaps. And you are also impacting the generations to come. So what I would like to also offer you today is, in celebration of what we do every day, and in remembrance of first-generation people, you can join us this evening at the celebration dinner at 5:30 in Building 4. And the reason why everybody is invited is because everybody in this room makes a difference. And that's all.